Welcome back to On the Bump Live, still an SB Streamer podcast, proud member of the Fantrax Podcast Network and FantraxHQ.com family. Doug Ishikawa. I screwed up my own name.
I was just say, why'd you just say your name like that?
I don't know why. I broke it down into like 17 parts. But Doug Ishikawa here alongside a man who takes his tank top off as aggressively as Zach Plesac. It's Mr. Michael Simione. What's up, Michael? How you doing?
That story's crazy, isn't it? Like, I don't understand how someone could do that.
Yeah, I have never, ever taken my shirt off that aggressively. I don't know what I'm quite doing there.
I said he must be like the most fragile person of all time. Must have like the most brittle bones there are.
That's no good on all accounts. For those of us that are in here live with us, we will be dropping this as a podcast as well. So if you miss us tonight going live, you'll be able to catch up by going through the podcast. Michael, guess what? We're going to probably put this out there on a Wednesday, but it's hump day in baseball. And that's not the enthusiasm needs to get higher for that. It's hump day in baseball. So I wanted to start off by asking you, should we start with how we're live streaming this on our Twitch channel, or people, you should be subscribing for that? Or should we discuss how I think that we both should purchase the New Era local markets hats for our respective zip codes here? Which would you like to get into first? I think that if we put the New Era logo hats with our zip codes on it, with the SP Streamer sweatshirt that we got going on here, we're going to be jamming all weekend long. What do you think about that?
I'm definitely not getting one of those hats.
Oh, that is disappointing. I think that
the Mets one is like so meh. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. In the words of Mike Curlin, the great Mike Curlin, meh. So both are super important, but let's just jump right into our observer report. So we're getting
area crap hats there.
Yes, that's too bad. You know, Wednesdays they're dedicated who Michael is watching and why. Tonight, we're also, or this morning, whenever you're listening to this, we'll also run through Michael's streamer chart for future picks, and then we will get to some of your questions at the end here. So before we get to some of your questions, let's get on to who you're going to be watching and why, Michael.
Yeah, I just want a quick, I'm going to point out Scooble here. I wasn't planning on talking about him, but we just took him as a streamer, and he's been really good as of late. Not really in the ERA category, but as you could see, actually right here in the strikeout area, he's got 31.9 strikeout rate in his last 3 starts. I feel like maybe the ERA will start to follow. We'll have to see, but I do like what he's doing here. As you can see, he's getting a ton of whiffs with the 4-seam and slider. He had a 42 CSW on the slider today in his start. So I think he's kind of taking a step forward finally, Scooble. I'm just waiting for the ERA to follow. But as of right now, I kind of like what he's doing. Anyway, so let's get to, I guess, who we're watching and why. And that's going to be Martin Perez. I actually tweeted something out about him today, and that was because I was researching for this episode.
That's always good.
And yeah, I mean, you would hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah, I actually think he's someone you should stream and hold on to as well, not just be watching. In his first 3 starts, he had 13.2 innings pitched with a 5.93 ERA and a 4.32 FIP, with a low strikeout rate, a bad whip, a high WOBA. So everything was going wrong. And his pitch mix was basically throwing his cutter a ton, throwing it 36.6% and then sprinkling in a changeup, sinker, curveball, 4-seam, everything else that he has. But he was mainly going cutter heavy. And the cutter was pretty good at not giving up hard contact, but it did have a 391 WOBA against it. So, like, he wasn't really getting killed home run wise, I would say, but hitters were making quality contact against it. So moving on to his next 6 starts, these last 6 starts that we've seen, he's actually pitched 32 innings with a 2.53 ERA, a 3.27 FIP. The strikeout rate has gone to way above average at 24.1%. The whip is down to 1.22. The WOBA has dipped as well. And basically what he did was he lowered the cutter usage and went to the sinker and changeup more. Now, while the percentage points aren't very dramatic, it did make a big difference in performance. So like I mentioned, how bad his cutter was WOBA wise. So his cutter had a 391 WOBA. Now it's down to 318. He's just giving up less quality contact. So I really like the pitch mix change he's doing. And I'm going to show you some videos now real quick of what he likes to do. So on two strike counts, he loves to go to the changeup. He wants to get hitters to chase. So when that happens, if you're watching the video here, it's really a good changeup, completely different speed than his other pitches, goes in against lefties, goes away from righties. So it's a really good strikeout pitch to chase that he rarely leaves in the zone. He likes to put it, below the zone often and get that chase. If that doesn't work though, then he leads with other pitches. So if you're going to look at righties, he loves to pump the sinker. And basically what he does right now is, so if you look at this righty right here, when he throws a sinker, he looks like it's going to hit him and then comes right back into the zone. So it's really good pitch to strike out these righties if the changeup doesn't work. And then if you want to look against lefties, now this is a ridiculous pitch. Against lefties, he likes to use a combination of sinker cutter, but he tends to lean towards the cutter here. And look at Ohtani in this. Ohtani literally thinks the ball is going to hit him and is moving away from the pitch. And then it just cuts right back in and he gets that cold strike for a strikeout against Ohtani right there. So I just really like the way he's utilizing his pitch mix. He's trying to get the chase with the changeup and two strike counts. If that doesn't work against right-handed hitters, he goes with that sinker, which completely fools him. And then against left-handed hitters, he does go sinker and cutter, but the cutter I think works better. As you saw from Ohtani there, it just looks like the pitch looks like it's going to hit the batter, and then just cuts right back in and gets that cold strike for a strikeout. So I really like what Perez is doing here. And, the pitch mix change is working. You're not going to get a lot of strikeouts. And I understand if some people are weary of him, this could just be a hot streak, but hey, I mean, you might as well ride it while it's going. And I mean, if you see a pitcher through 6 starts with a mid-2 ERA, you're going to be all over him. So,
all right, we were talking about Martin Perez from the Boston Red Sox there, the left-hander. Michael just gave his beautiful TED Talk there, striking out Shohei Ohtani, the updated Babe Ruth of the MLB. Michael, can you take us through your streamer chart as well for future picks as we take a look at the upcoming weekend here?
Yeah. So for tomorrow, it's actually a pretty good slate here. You have a couple of good options. The one person I'm going to go with is James Caprielian. I still have yet to look up how to pronounce it correctly. I apologize. He gets Seattle. Caprillion. That's what I would say. Caprillion. Okay. He's going to be our pick for every level. He gets Seattle, no brainer right here. Look at all the green, 57 WRC plus the last 7 days. They're striking out a lot. They're not getting on base. They can't hit righties. They can't even hit lefties either. They can't hit anybody. So I really like this pick right here. If he's owned, and if Cueto's out there, he makes a ton of sense against the Diamondbacks who are struggling just as much. Then you got Urena against Cleveland, who again isn't really hitting and strikes out a lot. Not that Urena's really a strikeout pitcher, but I think he could play well against this lineup. They're kind of like the Mets right now. I feel like they have a lot of injuries and that lineup's really depleted. Trevor Williams against Pitt. He didn't pitch that great against them. I feel like this is kind of a coin flip right here. And then you got Griffin Canning against Texas. They've been striking out, struggling a lot. And Canning is really good with, inducing those whiffs, especially against Joey Gallo, who showed earlier.
So 5 viable arms as we move forward here. You can always take a look at what's happening at spstreamer.com. Michael also tweets this out. It is in the header there on the at the SP Streamer handle there. You can go and look at the chart yourself and kind of play the matchups. And Jose Urena, James Caprillion, some good names.
Trevor Williams, Griffin Canning.
Yeah, you can take a look at all the guys that Michael just talked about and who I was not fully listening to him. But before we leave,
what a great host.
Great host. Just nod and say yes to everything that you're saying there. But before we leave, let's get to some of your questions. Eric Samolsky, he's one of the great writers over at Rotorballer, and he's of the Catcher's Corner podcast. If you haven't checked out what Eric Samolsky is doing on Twitter too, he puts together some great videos, breaking down different players. So go make sure that you check out what he's doing over there. He asked about Spencer Howard from the Philadelphia Phillies. Is he in the rotation for good? And should we care for the season? Michael, what do you think about, what are your thoughts on Spencer Howard?
I think it makes sense for them to leave him in there just because I don't think they have any better options. I mean, anyone's pretty much better than Chase Anderson. But I don't think you should care yet. He had a lot of command issues last season, and you could see that with the high home run per nine that he had. He just left it over the middle of the plate a lot, and hitters made a ton of contact. And I feel like it still has carried over this season. He had a high walk rate in AAA, and I don't know how many starts he made this year there. But then he comes in, has one start, and he puts up a 16.7 walk rate as well. In that start, he did show a lot of whiff ability, and we all know he has that with the four seam and this changeup, and he has another breaking ball too. But he does leave in middle too often. Like for instance, in this one start, his four seam had an above average whiff rate, but it came with a 164 WRC plus and a 286 ISO, which means he's leaving over the plate and it's getting smacked. So I think it's all about command with Howard. Until we see the command improve, I don't think we can really buy in as much as we want to. So right now, I think you just got to sit tight because it's not like he's really indicating improvement in that area. If he was indicating it, then I'd say jump on him before someone else does, but he's not even doing that. So until that happens, I don't even think it's worth jumping on hoping that it does.
So a definite pass for shallow leagues, 10, 12 team leagues, but even deeper leagues at 15 teams, 18 teams, you're still going to take a pass on Spencer Howard for right now until he proves it otherwise. All right, that is a pass on Spencer Howard. And if you need to check out what Eric Samolsky is doing, his Twitter handle is at SamskyNYC. Make sure you go and give him a follow as well. Thank you for the question. As always, if you're listening on a platform that allows you to rate, review, or share us, it would be greatly appreciated. Nobody wanted a patch or a sticker, Michael, so that saddens us. But it also it also keeps the inventory really, really stocked, and we have a lot of those stickers if you want to throw us a review. And we care about SP Streamer Nation, so care about us. Join us. You can join us up in the SP Streamer Discord. Over 200 members are in there talking baseball every single day. You can still sign up on the website, come in and hang out with us. You can watch us on Twitch like we are right now, YouTube, because to be honest, and we did take a straw poll of this with our mothers, we're two of the best and the most handsome fellas in the fantasy baseball industry. So make sure that you are doing yourselves a favor by delivering a little bit of eye candy to yourself for at least 10 to 15 minutes to get your baseball.
So
it's not a reach. It's the truth. You don't agree. You don't agree with me.
Debatable.
All right. Well, on that note, as that's our show for today, Michael, good to see you again. I'm surprised. No tank top.
I have what? No, what?
No tank top. I was hoping that we were going to aggressively.
I got it real quick. We got another fun question for you.
Oh, we did.
Not as crazy as the snail one, but
okay.
Would you rather have one real get out of jail free card or a key that opens any door?
Are you asking me? Like,
I am asking you.
A key to open up anything or get out of jail? Well, I don't break the law, so I'll take a key that opens any door, and then I'll break the law.
All right.
Yeah.
What?
You have to have
I guess that makes actually that's a good point. Then you just unlock your own. Yeah, but I don't think they lock jail cells with a key anymore.
That's true. And you know what? We're just getting a couple answers in the in our Twitch chat here, and that's a good point by Presidential Ballistics. The key, because you could use it to open the jail door.
But they definitely don't use that anymore. You think they use keys? It's definitely like electronic or something. No,
you weren't specific on old school key. It could be a key card.
All right, I'll let you cheat your way out of this one.
I'm gonna take that. Okay, I know that you're scared of the snail, but you need to definitely get over that. Well, thank you for those questions, Michael. Always good to talk to you. Always good to talk some baseball with you, even though I don't listen half the time of what you're saying, because
Clearly
that's not my job. My job is to just bring you along. You think Jeff Probst listens to everything at Tribal? Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Actually, he does. That's wrong. I have to improve. We all have room.
He gets paid millions, so
yeah, and I get a pat on the back and a a key that might open doors for me, whether it's old school or anyways. Let's get out of here for today. That's Michael Simione. I'm Doug Ishikawa. Hope that you have a great Wednesday, everyone, and wherever you're listening to this. We'll be back here with you Friday with our streamer report. But in the meantime, take care, stay safe, and we will see you soon.